fortunes of war can change their way. We imagine our lives will be. The March family are on their way. Make Joe, Beth, and Amy.
2 weeks ago, Anthony got his most challenging reporting assignment ever. Henry sent him to report on the progress of the war right from the battlefield. Joe gave him a rousing send-off at the train station. And, if you ask me, I think Joe wishes she could go with him.
Young man, you look like you're 100 miles away. Wake up and eat your dinner.
Why won't Grandfather allow me to meet the girls next door? Just can't stop thinking about them.
Bye, Marmee.
Oh.
Hi!
Oh.
He was watching us again.
Staring.
He must be lonely living in that big house with no one but his grandfather to talk to.
I guess so.
I dare say he seems almost envious of us.
Anyone who stays cooped up inside a house as much as he does would envy us because we have fun.
Will you get off that fence and act like a lady?
I think if it weren't for his old goat of a grandfather, he'd make friends with us.
Well, that's none of our business.
When I first met Anthony, he wasn't shy at all. No, sir, he just came right out and introduced himself.
Yes, at times Anthony is very pushy.
Sometimes a good reporter has to be aggressive, you know.
I wonder how he's getting on now in Washington.
Silly, he's not in Washington. He's on the battlefield reporting on the war firsthand.
All right, Joe, I will grant you he's as brave as he is pushy.
Get down here, son, you crazy! Get down now!
The battle into its third day rages on.
Oh, Meg! Do you really think that they'll invite you? I've heard the dances the Kings give are ever so gay.
That's right, Joe. My friend Sally promised me she would ask Patty to invite me, and that's just what she did.
Oh, and who's Patty?
Why, Mrs. King's daughter.
I see. Of course.
And then she told Sally that she would ask Mrs. King tomorrow.
With your pretty face, I'll wager your dance card will be full by 7 o'clock. Meg?
Oh, dear me. I'm frightfully worried at what Mrs. King will say about inviting someone who works for them.
Don't fret so. Why, just the other day, Marmee was talking about Mrs. King. Mother said she's not snobbish at all. She'll invite you.
Are you absolutely positive, Joe?
Oh. Raymond's love for Rosalie had known no boundaries. It was timeless. Which is why, for the first time in Raymond's young life, the word revenge entered his mind. He thought, revenge. Revenge for my beloved Rosalie.
For the first time in Raymond's young life, a word, revenge, entered his mind.
David!
He thought, that was dreadfully unladylike of you, Joe. I was actually starting to enjoy reading your deathless prose.
Don't be bothersome.
Ooh, no, honestly, Joe, I'd really love to read some more of it.
Leave this room immediately.
I can't imagine why you're so angry. Actually, I came to see Auntie, but she was napping in her sitting room when I looked in on her. And I didn't dare wake her up.
So, what has that to do with me?
Nothing really. I was just making small talk.
Well, I'm working.
All right then, Joe. I won't bother you. It's just that I did have a question to ask you. Ah, yes. The new house, how is your family taking to it? All settled in? You're still angry.
If you insist on staying here and gabbing, gab to yourself.
Now, don't get upset. I'll leave you alone. And so, I take my leave of you, Madam Genius. Till next time.
This weather makes me sleepy.
Go away, go away, go away.
I've tired of hearing you say that.
Hello, Polly, hello, Polly.
Ah, I'll wager Joe taught you that.
Go away, go away, go away.
All right, Polly, that's quite enough. Come in, Joe. Oh, it's you, David.
And who did you think it was, Auntie March? Eh?
I haven't seen much of you lately.
My, what a sour expression. I don't think you've missed me one nit now that you have Joe to chat with.
How astute.
Aunt March, for many months in the past, I made a point to visit you often. I should hope you would remember that.
If you insist, I'll remember.
Sure you will.
What are you mumbling about?
Nothing. You know I love you, Auntie. I've just come to ask a little favor of you.
It's money you need,
Now, you've done a lot to support Jo and her sisters. Am I correct, Auntie?
That family lost everything, David. Their house was burned down by the Confederate Army. I offered to assist them with whatever they might need. But their pride is still intact, unlike the young man that is standing before me.
But you gave all of them dresses.
The dears had nothing formal to wear. That is all, and that is a lot less than you ask.
But you know I haven't asked for any money in at least a month now, Auntie.
Your memory's a bit short when it comes to money.
Perhaps you're right, Auntie. But you've invested in me for a very good reason.
The factory?
Yes, the textile factory, that's right. I need money for further expansion.
You need money because it's failing.
Right. Well, we're almost making ends meet. I can't believe it. I talked her into it.
David?
Jo, you can spend as much time with Auntie as you like. Because of you, she's in a marvelous mood. Bye-bye.
The sparrow sat singing on a tree branch. Tweet, tweet. Long comes the fox, with whiskers and great big ears. He looks up to the sparrow and says to himself,
Well, what do you know? It looks like I found myself a nice big lunch.
Morning. Is Ed home?
No, Patty. You know I'll never agree to that. Mom, tell her she can't be invited.
Meg March is a fine young girl, and I can say that she's elegantly mannered. But how can we invite someone who works for our family?
But Meg won't be wearing a sign or a name card saying King Family Governess. Who will now?
We will. So just forget about it, Patty.
Come in.
Excuse me, Master King. There is a David Forrest here to see you.
All right. Have him wait in my room. No, wait. It might be a good idea to get David's opinion on all this. Show him in here.
Very well, sir.
You know, I believe David mentioned that Meg is a distant relative of his.
Meg would have told.
Yes, David. Come on in.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good to see you again, David.
My pleasure. Hello, Patricia.
Hi, David.
Ed!
David, you've come at the right time. It seems we're having a little difference of opinion. And we'd like you to give us your point of view on the question. Sit down.
I can't imagine what could be so important. Well, what is it?
You see, it's like this. Patty has requested that Mother invite our nursery governess, Meg March, to our dance next Saturday. Didn't you once mention that the Marches are relatives of yours?
Yes, but we're not blood relatives. They're merely distant second cousins. I barely know them, actually.
I see.
Oh, well, my friend Sally's been invited, and she asked me if Meg could be invited too. So I told Sally that I would have to get Mother's permission first.
Are you quite sure that Meg told Sally that she wants to attend?
Mm-hmm. Sally said so. Sally said Meg really wants to come.
You know our dances have a certain status attached to them?
But what do you think, David? Would it be proper for us to extend Meg an invitation?
Well, David, what's your considered opinion?
Well, I suppose it's all right, but...
But what?
Well, she is just an employee after all, and inviting her could be quite improper.
Absolutely right.
I agree. It would be frightfully embarrassing if anyone discovered that Meg worked for our family.
Just what I was thinking. Besides, I'm sure your guests come formally attired, and I don't think the girl even owns a proper ball gown.
Well, I'm glad to learn that the dresses I gave you will finally be worn.
I bet our beautiful Meggie will take everyone by storm at the King's dance, Aunt March.
Aren't you going to the dance?
No, I'm sure Patty King has no intention of inviting me. Polly! Bleh.
Very good, Kathy.
Yay!
Hello there, Meg. Hello.
Oh, hello, David.
I won, Miss March! I won!
No, you cheated!
My.
You cheated, Miss March!
Fair and square, I beat you!
You did not!
Children, it's only a game. Just play another one.
This time I go first.
Okay?
Yes, Miss March. You can go first.
You sure handled that nicely, Meg.
It's nothing, really.
Oh, by the way, I talked to Patty and Mrs. King about their having invited you to the dance, Meg.
Oh,
and
David.
I'm quite close with the Kings, you know. You want to go, don't you?
Yes.
David? Hey, David! Come on!
I'm sure you'll be getting your invitation shortly. Bye. Coming, Ed.
My dreams come true.
Hey!
Huh? Sorry.
Well, I hope you have enough money with you this time.
Of course I do.
Got it from the same old place, did you? That aunt of yours must be an awfully easy touch.
Get the thread, Milky.
Now don't encourage her, Beth.
Oh, come back here. Nice kitty. Having a fire in the fireplace gives this room such a wonderful and cozy feeling, doesn't it, Mother?
Yes, it's so quiet and calm.
Guess what? Joe's put on a new dress, too.
Where are they?
Oh, don't worry. They're right behind me. Come on. We're all ready for you in here. Hear ye. I am proud to present Miss Margaret and Miss Josephine March.
Oh. Meg. Joe.
Hello, Mrs. King. I can't tell you how grateful I am for your having invited me to your dance.
Miss March, the pleasure is all ours, really. My, you're dressed so elegantly. Please do come in and join the others.
Thank you.
Aww. Mrs. King? Ma'am, I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, dear. Have we ever been introduced? I don't even recall inviting you.
Marmee, that wasn't fair. Was it, Milky?
I was just teasing you, Joe. You look lovely. Maestro, let's have some music.
That's it, Amy. Good. You're quite a dancer.
Oh, ha ha.
Come now, Joe. Amy's just begun learning this year.
Whee!
Ah, a tango. Bravo, dearies, bravo.
Lo, I smell something. You better get away from that fireplace, girl.
Huh? Oh, help her. Stop moving around so we can help you.
Somebody help me!
Here. Hold still, Joe. Oh, it's not so bad, darling. It's nothing. Stop crying.
I'm such an oaf.
Don't worry, Joe. I can mend that dress up good as new.
No.
It's your own fault, you know. You stood too close to the fire, see?
Oh, hush. What will I wear to the dance? What will I wear if I ever get invited anywhere?
Wonder what the commotion's about.
Your mother is expecting us, children.
Uh-oh.
I have an idea. Let's walk to the
No.
harbor. Huh?
Children? Oh. Good afternoon, David.
Oh, morning.
You mean afternoon, don't you?
Yeah.
Are you waiting for Ed?
Yeah?
By the way, David, I wanted to tell you how grateful I am for your talking to Mrs. King about me.
Oh, the dance. It was nothing really,
Oh, look, here comes Edward now. My, he's sure at a
I'm
gallop.
sorry I'm late, David.
Good afternoon, David. Now let's go home, you two.
You have enough money?
You bet I do.
Dreadful luck we had yesterday.
We'll change all that today.
Oh, Meg, has Ed gone yet?
Yes, I just saw him run off with David. It appeared to me they were both in quite a hurry.
Yes, I'm sure they were. By the way, Mother had to go out.
Yay!
But she should be back at any time. Well, I'll be at Sally's. I'll say hello for you.
Thank you, Patty. Catherine? Thomas?
Here.
You have schoolwork to do.
I'm finished. Me too.
Now, what is 2 times 3?
6.
And 2 plus 3?
5.
3 times 3, Kathy?
9.
And 3 plus 3?
33.
Tom, that's not funny.
Mrs. King would like to speak with you immediately, madam.
My invitation to the dance. Please tell Mrs. King I'll be there as soon as I can.
I'm sorry to disturb your work with the children, Meg. Please sit down. This won't take very long. I have a delicate question to ask you. I've asked all of our servants and employees the same question, so please don't think that I'm singling you out. I trust you with my children, so I think you'll give me an honest answer.
Is it something about Kathy and Tom?
No, Meg, it doesn't concern them. It concerns something that I did before I left this morning. I carelessly left some money on the table. It seems the money's been stolen.
But Mrs. King, I would never...
Now, don't be offended, my dear. As I said, I'm asking everyone. There's quite a bit of money involved here, well over $200, and if the money is indeed stolen, I'll have to report it to the police.
Isn't it possible that you left the money somewhere else?
No, I've gone over this in my mind a dozen times. I'm sure I left it on the table.
The children and I were out all morning and didn't return until early afternoon. None of us even entered this room.
I understand, dear, but $200 is a lot. I know about your family. The hardship, $200 can go a long way in making any struggling family's life easier.
Mrs. King, I didn't take it. I don't steal. It wasn't me.
It's all right, dear. I believe you, and I'm terribly sorry I had to ask.
Leave her alone. It wasn't her.
Oh, Patty, what can you tell us about all this?
First, I can tell you that you were wrong to ever accuse Meg.
I wasn't accusing Miss March of anything. I just asked her about it, and she answered.
Ed stole the money, Mother.
Huh? Oh, my.
I saw him. I saw him do it.
What are you saying? I can't believe that you would accuse your own brother.
Yes, he came dashing out of here stuffing the money in his pocket. I dare say he's playing cards again at the club with it.
My son? A thief?
He told me about his bad luck yesterday and how he'd have to return today to make up his losses.
I'll make Edward return it, of course.
Mr. Forrest lost a lot of money as well.
What a dreadful thing to have happened.
Yes.
Now they can't invite you, Meg. They probably feel very much embarrassed that you know about Edward stealing the money.
I wouldn't tell anyone. What's done is done. You know what they say. It's water under the bridge. I didn't want to go anyway.
I must go now. Excuse me, miss. Have you seen my dog?
Meg came home that day in the darkest of moods. Not only were her hopes of being invited to the king's dance dashed, she still felt she was accused of being a thief. Meg was so upset that she didn't even notice that she was being watched from high above.
Fortunes of war can change their